Good morning, team. Just waiting for my end to click into its into live mode on my phone. Come on, baby. Waiting for you. Oh, there we are. There we are. We're in. We're in with a grin. Right. Hi, team. It's been a big week out in the garden, doing stuff around the house. It's going to be great. A little bit of a loosener. Um, Looks good. Scented. Oh, yeah. Nice. Thanks, Rich. Um, Beautiful. Okay, so back to just some good exercise. Okay, pyramids are a very good tool. Okay, combine pyramids with interval training, even better. What pyramids allow us to do is just keep focusing on our movement and how we have to make it go. Okay, um, with obviously when we're training, we're trying to do different things. We're putting the body under different stresses. We are moving with different ratings and other bits and pieces. I wonder why it was a little bit dark in here. So pyramid training is really just about how do I need to move quicker, but I'm only just moving a little bit quicker. Okay, so it's a test of ourselves to be like, okay, all the parts of the stroke need to move a little bit quicker, because one of the most common mistake, well, I shouldn't say, well, one of the most common things people do, I'm not going to say mistake, let's get rid of that, it's just differences, is that when we go up in rating, one particular part of the stroke can get quicker, not the whole movement, okay? And I think that is one of the keys to understanding about when you start to try and move quicker and faster. How do we move faster and how do we do it efficiently and as smooth as possible? Okay, pyramids are a very good one for that, because especially when we get up to these 1 minute changes, all we're doing is just when we go up in the minute, it's just that now we move the hands just a little bit quicker, and that flows into the quickness of the speed of the recovery, and then the drive will be disproportionately quicker, right? But the fact is that the whole thing is moving quicker, right? So we don't start getting into an equation where we're racing forward and then the drive's still quite slow and heavy, and then we're waiting and then we're racing forward. Okay. So it really is just thinking, how can I make this whole movement here then just speed up, right? Speed up and then speed up and then speed up and then speed up, right? Because we're not just going quick, 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 whatever. And that's one of the things that I really try and get through to you is when we increase that rating, the only things that we're doing is just moving the whole stroke that little bit faster. Okay. So pyramids are a perfect example. Okay. And yes, it's difficult when you're doing 1 minute changes because you're like, okay, well, it's really hard for me to keep the rating. I'm not concerned too much about the rating. Okay. We want to increase, but remember, if you're looking at your rating, okay, and it's jumping between 20 and 21, 20 and 21, or 21 and 22, and 21 and 22, don't worry about it too much. Okay, now if you're meant to be doing 22 and it's sitting on 21, after 3 or 4 strokes, then think about it. Okay. But the problem is when you're on the machine trying to do the rating plus your technique plus looking at your numbers plus something else, there's a lot to think about. Okay. which is the case of this machine when we're trying to think about so much stuff at one particular time. Okay, so just really focus on our rhythm and how we're doing it. I want to really go on relaxation today. Okay, so when we're pushing this drive, we're going to press the feet, we're going to let the body unravel, we'll come back, and then we just want to be super smooth, relaxed as we come forward. Okay, and we get that flow, we get that rhythm. Really try and make sure that this recovery phase, it's not stiff and rigid. Okay, We want to be straight up, you know, we want to get everything to a position, but I want us to really understand that there's a difference between stiff and rigid, okay, trying to get ourselves into this position here, okay, and then there's loose and suppleness, but I'm in the position, okay. So see the difference here, okay. I've got movement, and it all comes. It's a thing that happens when you're on the water in terms of like rowing, right? So any rowers that are in here, you'll know. Because if you're super stiff and rigid and then all of a sudden the boat goes thing, you go, ugh, and you drop off to the side, right? And you're like, ah, terrible. That stroke's ruined. Okay, but if you've got a little bit of flexibility and given your body that elasticity, okay, it just allows us to get to this point. Plus, by not being stiff, you know, and being super tense as we come forward, right? The muscles aren't in a position where they're tight, okay? We're still setting up to that position. We don't want to be, you know, sloth type of thing, but we want to find just underneath the really feeling. We want to have it so that actually if someone was here coaching you and they pushed your arms, right, as we're coming forward. If someone, I want, you know, if someone pushed my arms down, I could do this. Whereas if you're real stiff and someone pushes it, you know, like it's tight. Okay, but that's just creating all this pressure. So just think about it from your point of view, okay, on your machine and how you perceive it. Because at the end of the day, I'm saying I want you to be set up in a really nice position. Some of you might be like, well, I can't really get there unless, you know, I feel a little bit of tension in my back because I'm just not flexible in my back, right? Okay, and that's okay. But don't make it feel like I don't have anywhere left to go. Because that's the idea, is you want to be able to have it so that if you are compressing in, you've got this little bit of, this is where the compression comes in, because it's from the loose relaxation of us coming around here, getting the setup, but then being in a nice position as we come forward, but just with that elasticity to let that body compress naturally, and then we can come out of it. Whereas if we're stiff and tight like this, we get to a point, and there's almost does feel like there's a stop point. And then because we're tight and rigid there, we have to come out of it. So a lot of it, especially with just one stroke increments changing up, it's better to think about our softness that we can be, the relaxation that we can be by being 95 to 99% set, but just to allow ourselves that time, right? That this rhythm that allows us to just continuously move and around, you know, compress in and compress out, not stop, go, stop, go, okay? Got to think about it as this continuous motion, the smoothness that we're going with the machine. Because at the end of the day, we're all working hard, right? I don't think I'll ever have to tell anybody in my life, you've got to work harder, right? People are working, everyone's doing what they can to what they feel. But I'm just trying to make it easier, okay? So that when you are trying to push more pressure because you're doing a set piece or a set time, you've still got this elasticity, you're still getting this set up, because everything's moving so fast that if you're really tight and rigid, it's gonna look like a fucking robot, right? Rather than having the ability to have smooth hands, quickness, get into the position, you know, be supple with what we're doing, okay? Right, that's enough rant or chit-chat or advice, whichever way you want to put it. So let's get into it, right? Let's a little bit of a warm-up. Just warm up nicely. Build that pressure slowly. Get ourselves flexible, limber, loose, okay? However you need to. Remember last week when we were talking about the feet, okay? Start off by that as well. Okay, just enough before you feel the heels come up. And then just slowly start to increase the amount of stress and, I guess, strain by stretching the muscles, okay? Really nice, smooth control. And this is the thing, when you're warming up, remember that we're just starting off by being loose, but starting this rhythm with really good, we used to call it floppiness, right? And it's not sloppiness, it's floppiness. Okay, so we're not like just warming up like this, okay, which is sloppy. But we want to find better than sloppy. But the sloppy feeling is just like, I'm just moving, you know, this is real good. Just trying to get myself loose, ready for the day. But if you're feeling that feeling where you just muscles are sort of not really doing too much, but just starting to push them into the sit-up position, okay? Feeling the stretch, the hang, then we don't make it look sloppy, but we've got enough relaxation to then feel the rhythm, feel the movement. Even now, just one speed into the front, okay? Let ourselves compress here, one speed forward, okay? Roll in, nice on that plane. That's really nice. And you feel that push. That rhythm, that smoothness, the control. Okay, and now, because we've moved ourselves through this floppy phase, okay, now we've got a really nice setup in terms of relaxation because we've started with it. And now, for the next minute, we can start to feel the pressure and building ourselves up. Okay, every stroke, just thinking, can I make that flywheel gain 5 revolutions? Okay, so the next 10 strokes, we start seeing the numbers decreasing just because of a little bit more intent. Okay, nice, good movement. Okay, another 30 seconds. Just feel that squeeze now. Okay, good push. Hold that body form. Hang. Okay, feel that sequencing of the drive. Leave the handles out long. Okay, 2 more. Boom. Okay. And generally, workouts like this, majority of it's reasonably low rate. Okay. We start to push up into some rating, like, even into the 24 here. But we're not going to be super under stress to do it. Okay. We're going to be sitting at a nice level. We're just moving again. Then we're moving again. And away we go. Okay. If you haven't figured it out, the first pyramid, 2 minutes. Okay, easy to do. The second one goes in 1 minute. Okay, but obviously we don't quite finish off the pyramid. And then the third one, same again. just going to bump up the rating a little bit. So then the mid stages of it are sort of 25, 26, 27, 26, 25, okay? So it's starting to move that speed. But by this stage, we're all warmed up. We're going to have good rhythm. We're going to have good focus, okay? And I feel that we'll be able to really have some good push in those numbers, okay? Now, I'll talk about it as we go down, but remember, when we're decreasing that rating, don't just pause at the back. Don't just go, oh, I need to slow this down. Slow the whole rhythm down, okay? And it doesn't have to change straight away. Yes, love it to change right on the money. I really would. Even I can't really do it, okay? But if we can have the intent to let it come down over time, you might hold your speed for a while and then it decreases slowly. You might be able to maintain the speed, okay? Because you're focusing on things. And that's the great part about a pyramid, is when you're coming down on the other side, it's all about relaxation, but it's about how we move to go up and how we move to come down. We're still moving, no pausing. We just carry on with this continuous motion, okay? Right, rock and roll. Let's go. I should have just checked if there was any questions in the chat. No, we're good. Everyone's here. Robro's ready to rock and roll. Okay. Right, let's set it up. Very simple setup, as always. Select workout, new workout, intervals. You're probably even. I've probably even got a 3-10 minute on my thing. I do, but it's only a 30-second rest. That's fine. Intervals time. 10 minutes on the set time, okay, and just 1 minute on the rest time. Leave it flashing on that 1 minute for a second, okay? So intervals time, 10 minute, 1 minute, leave it flashing, count to 10, okay, just to make sure we're all getting very close, okay? Now we can press the checkbox. Now we're good to go. We're all on the same page. We're doing it together, okay? Ultimate, it's us. Okay, looking for rhythm, working on the motion, listen to what I'm saying, take it in if you can, and just keep moving on the things that you're feeling. Okay, here we go. Right, first 2 minutes at 20. Are you ready? Row. Nice and elastic to start. Okay, even here, think about this motion. One motion. Allow this compression and the speed that we're rolling forward to help this compression. Okay? Good roll. Good movements. Okay, and we can really start off here by just thinking about this hang. Under the armpits, down on the lats. Okay, as we start to press this body out of this compressed position, remember, feel the hang in the hands without choking or gripping too hard. Okay, we can just say there's nothing wrong with having a good grip around the handle, okay? But if it affects us where we then nice and loose and we grab, okay, that's when it affects us. But if we can make sure that we're feeling like we leave the hands out front and we start pushing that body backwards, okay, money. Right, up 2 now. So remember, all round. Okay, there it is. Easy. Good rhythm. Okay, we move quicker on this recovery, but we're also looking for that little bit more speed on the drive. Okay, nice. And then we just settle into this rhythm. Okay, this motion, we find an easy movement pattern. We focus on the smoothness. Okay, feel our roll into the front. Feel the weight coming onto the feet. As the compression puts the brakes on, okay? Just remember, you don't need to stop yourself, okay? You're not gonna go, oh, I'm going through. If you're in the position, body's gonna stop you, okay? Really simple. So don't think about having to get to the front. Think about rolling smooth, one motion, let the body stop. There, okay? And then because we're letting that body stop, and we're looking at the smoothness around the turn. Okay, 24. Now, so, hand speed. Okay, remember, don't think about working a hell of a lot harder. Be elastic. Feel the rhythm. Move freely. Lovely. Okay, this is really good. Smooth. Getting tall. Okay, breathe into this. Find our motion. Okay, elasticity, suppleness. Okay, nice. So remember, nice rhythm here. Flywheel's moving. Let's be patient. On the way down, this one. Now, right there it is. See, just the whole stroke. Mainly the recovery to start, and then once the flywheel is at a sustainable speed and rhythm, focus. Smooth application. Okay? Feel the symmetry in your body down the line. Okay? Both feet. Okay, breathing. Then we've got a nice rhythm here. Okay? Now we can just sit into this, back and forward. Go control. Okay? Beautiful, lovely. Okay? Feel this compression again. This one speed we've got coming forward into there. Okay, down 2. Now, okay, patience on the recovery. Still looking at that push, but every stroke for a while will naturally lose a few revs on each stroke recovery. Okay, and now we're starting to get to a constant speed. Okay, and now we really soften into this. Okay, loose elasticity, move in the sequence on the recovery. But remember, we've got our hands out and we can feel this draw of the handle into the machine with the bungee. Use that, okay? Use the resistance you can feel on the fingers, right? Drawing us that way, okay? We loosen the arms, we let them out. I can hold on with one finger, okay, because it's drawing me that way. I'm controlling it, and I can feel it. Allows me to get the rhythm. And then roll in, okay? Really good. Okay, breathe into it. This is our break. This is our time to think about it, okay? Maybe make a change, feet height, drag. I want to try something a little bit different for this one. Go for it, okay? Got to get comfortable. Got to find our nice space for yourself, okay? But just remember, as I say, on that ratio down, we do have more patience this way, okay? The dry is still going to be reasonably quick. You just got to think about this patience. Now, I'm over-exaggerating it here, but we're the ones that control the rate by the handle going in, okay? So let's think about that here. First minute on 20, okay? Now, this is just going to be a slow climb to the top, okay, every minute. This is a really good one to think about because when we jump up 2 points, there is a decent movement speed change, but also pressure that we're inputting to the drive, okay? Because for us, when we go up in rate, yes, we move everything quicker, but to move the legs faster, we naturally have to add a little bit more power, okay? Whereas here, let's just focus the smoothness of what I was talking about as we increase this rating, okay? Upper point now. So what does that look like? Just a smooth change in speed on this recovery. Okay, we can still really focus on the body, on our setup. Okay, the core stability at the finish, allowing for this inertia and the momentum here. Okay, really good. Nice change. Okay, and then we just do a little bit more again. Okay, now, nice. Feeling the rhythm, smoothness. Okay, here's the patience. Okay, we're moving up and down quicker. We're got a nice drive. One smooth movement. Okay, if you're using the force curve, don't worry about center peaks. Try and make that line as smooth as we can, whatever shape it looks. Okay, 23. There it is. Okay, nice. Now the flywheel's moving quicker. Roll into the front. There's a weight change on the feet. Good. Lovely. Okay. Feel that press. Okay, the whole squeeze of the lemons comes from us feeling these muscle groups start to push down the levering. Okay, up 24. Okay, remember the handles around the finish. Crush the body. Okay, we're holding that drive on, but don't try and add anything towards the finish. Not helping you. Okay. Okay, breathe into this. Make it consistent, continuous. Be elastic. Compress. Here it is. Okay. Right. Last change up. Now. Beautiful. Here's the rhythm. Okay, look at this. From where we started to where we are now, still should feel like we've got this motion, yeah, happening quicker. Okay, no drastic change on the way down. Let's just think suppleness, okay? Now, breathe, okay, roll. Okay, here it is. We're on that 24. Okay, now sit into this rhythm. Okay, loose. Looking at our structure. Relaxed movements. Okay. Right, down one. Now. Okay. Hang. Good. Now feel this treble forward, okay? Get loose. Feel the compression. The elastic. Okay, last couple of inches before the handle goes into the housing. Feel the body stop us from getting there because of our setup, okay? Right, 22. Right, open the mouth, hang, breathe. Okay. On this recovery again, feel on the palm surface of your fingers, the pressure trying to draw the handle back into the housing. Okay, good. Keeping the flywheel spinning. Continuous motion. Okay. Deep breaths. Here we go. Last minute. Down one. Loose, relaxed, really supple. Okay. Let's put the S back in floppy, but not sloppy. We're going to be sturdy. We're going to have structure, loose, relaxed, structure of our recovery, holding our body, patience. Okay, real good. Lovely. Okay. Really nice. Okay. Now, I really don't want to overcomplicate everybody, so I'll be quick. When we get up and rating and we're moving quickly, just remember that this last, that much as we come into the front, when the body is holding that impression, use it like that spring, right? You push it in and you can feel that potential energy that wants to go back out, okay? Now, we're not going to hit out. We're going to use this potential energy to then feel the take up and then through the drive, okay? Right, 22. So remember, be elastic here on this first minute. Get ourselves back into motion. Find this 22, nice, easy rhythm. Okay, let that flywheel gain its momentum and its speed. Okay, there it is. Now that's all we've got to think about for now. Okay, you don't have to add any more. All we're trying to do is fine tune our relaxation, fine tune our rhythm so that we can increase this rhythm without the thought of the power process. Okay, let the power take care of itself. Okay, moving. Yeah, 23. There it is. Okay, it's a smooth drive, smooth recovery. Breathing, okay? That's it. Okay, let's do this, that one. Holding that rhythm. Let's go to 24. Now, okay, start off with the elasticity. And then we make it consistent. Okay, let's self-check on the handles and on the chain. Have a look at it. How much bounce is there in that chain? How much deviation? Try and keep it smooth. Try and keep it flat. The chain wants to be flat, okay? Any deviation is us, okay? Okay, up one. Okay, just feel this movement speed now, okay? Flywheels at a motion. Good. Okay, this is lovely. Okay, we have to stay relaxed. Feel the inertia. Round the finish. Feel the feet holding in the core at the finish. 26. Now, okay, elastic. Remember, one speed pull. Press. Feel that last part. Body does it for us. There. Okay. And then we've got take up period. Okay. Think about your breathing. One. Now. Okay, we're halfway. The elastic. Move the hands. Okay, nice. That's it. Smooth drive. One motion through the stroke. Legs drive the body. Okay, this is good. 27. Tap. Tap. Flywheel. Take the speed of it. Okay. Breathe. Okay, down one. Just patience. There it is. Supple. Good structure. Now, think about your breathing. Think about it now. If you can't breathe in on the drive, is it because you're shutting the diaphragm down, like, or can you just keep moving? The muscles are holding the position, but the lungs are open. Okay, 25 now. A little bit more patience. Good. Okay, 2 minutes 40 to go. Hang with me now. Good. Okay, hold this. Flat draw around the body. Soft knee break. Okay, 24. Patience now. Feel the handle. Pressure in the fingers. Good. Breathe. Okay. Keep this momentum moving. Here we go. Feel it. Metronomic. Back, forward. Back, forward. No stopping around the turns. That's it. Motion. Rhythm. Hang. Okay. Last minute. Hang. 23. Now. Okay. Mouth open. No facial tension. Let's feel body posture, the structure. Good. Yeah. Okay. And what are we doing? We're keeping the flywheel moving. Okay. Last 5 strokes. Dial it in. Lovely. Okay. That was good. That was really good. Okay. Just write it down. Okay. It was a good work effort, especially in this last one, right? As always, as always, as always. If we're training right, there's always going to be a piece in the training at whatever stage where it tests us mentally, physically, okay? And it could be the fact that you've done 45 minutes straight at 20, right? But you're going to get to a piece, maybe 10 minutes to go, 10 to 7 minutes to go, where you're like, hurry the fuck up and count down. But then you're focusing on that rather than just, I want to keep this rhythm. I want to keep this momentum. I want to do it with as least stress as possible, okay? And that's what happens here, probably for a good 5 or 6 minutes during the middle, okay? And hence why, actually, just reset your menu. Shit, sorry about that. Save it into memory. It always keeps coming up, just like every other question, right? And I'll address it here, okay? People are always like, how's the breathing going? How do I breathe? When do I breathe? Okay? Now, it is very individual. Disclosure, it's all individual. Everybody has their own way of doing it, okay? But when you're in a motion, because when you get up high and high rate, it's really easy to be or whatever, right? It's very easy. But there becomes a point in the rating, like when I'm at low rate, I feel like I'm so I'm breathing in and out as I'm doing the whole stroke, okay? Now, what people are like, I can't get this rhythm, okay? When we're at that 24, 25, 26, whatever it is slightly out of the sync. We can't just be like, okay? There becomes a point where you're like, I've either don't have enough oxygen or I need to just take a big breath, whatever, because it feels a bit short. Now, if you can't take a breath in as you're driving, okay, that tends to me is that there's too much tension in the body on the drive, okay? There's too much. I know we need core engagement, but there's a difference between engagement to hold this posture here, right? And to hold your posture like you would in a sit-up, okay? There's a difference. So when we're in that motion, just remember that it's a stability of the core, okay? The core is activating in a way that it's able to hold the rest of the muscles, okay? It's not in an engagement that I'm going to hold the rest of the muscles and the machine and lift it above my head, okay? That's not the engagement that we want. Hence, as I said, this whole stroke is about the hang, the looseness, the compression, and the expansion that we're trying to create with that sequence while using the hang tension, okay? Not the really rigid, trying to pull it back as hard as I can tension, okay? Hang tension, okay? What this can push back as the quads, the hammies, the glutes, all of this is holding that position, okay? Now, and that's one of the things I'd like to think, okay, as you're doing it next time, think when I get here, am I really trying to squeeze the core to hold my body? Or am I actually just pressing away and the core is helping hold this motion here, okay? And it's still engaged. Now there's a moment through the middle where the acceleration now overtakes the stability of the core, okay, which is about here, okay, because the body's swung, the legs are swinging, everything's coming. So there's a momentary piece just there, just before the finish, where the stability becomes slightly less because then it holds the engagement, okay? So we don't have to get to a point and go crunch here at the finish, okay? It comes through, and then there's this piece where we're finishing the momentum where the core goes like this, okay? It doesn't have to go, okay, it can go, because the core is no different with the rest of this, okay? Think about the muscles being elastic, expansion, okay? Same with coming into the front. We've got this motion here, and the core has to like get engagement. It doesn't have to go core, okay? It's like coming in, and there it is there, and there it is there, okay? It's not core, okay? It takes time. It compresses. It's the muscles. It's the movement. It's the elasticity, okay? And the better we understand those motions, because it's biomechanics, okay? It's biomechanics of us and how we move and how smooth we can be, you know, and the pressures that we can do like this rather than, okay, that jerky, jolty movements. If we can start to make them smoother, okay, it allows you when you're doing a 2K and you've got a 7 minutes, just as a round number, okay, you can't be because you're going to die, right? That is one of the issues, that people are too tense in certain places, and then that tension becomes intolerable. That's why you get, oh my God, I couldn't, I just felt so tight in my shoulders towards the finish, and it's probably because you just engaged them a little bit too much, okay? Whereas what should be happening is you're like, I'm trying to push, and then nothing left to give, right? And that could be with a minute left to go. And then from that point, you're like, oh, well, let me just count 3 12 stroke sections. There's the first 12, got one more in the middle, and then I'm just going to, whatever I can, wind it home. Because that's what happens, okay, in that position. There's not too many people that hold it perfectly, well, apart from it, but they hold it really perfectly all the way through and then finish and be like, wow. Because you're basically doing it to extreme, right? You're emptying the cup, but you're just making sure that your last drop is the last stroke, okay? Chat time. Great workout. Got me to stop muscling with the upper body and more control with the legs. Help me with patience. Rich, perfect. Patience, you have none. Oh, bro. The breathing. Mentally a challenging day, good focus. Coming down the backside of the pyramid is always tough. Yeah, and that's the thing with the backside of the pyramid, because it's hard for me to, it's hard to explain, because we should, because the fly, like, it's all to do with the revolution of the flywheel, right? So if you get it up to, let's get it up to this speed, and then you're trying to go slower on the thing, and it will naturally, over a few strokes, as I say, if it wipes off 2 revolutions every stroke, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 20 revolutions less on that is a lot, okay? So then all of a sudden, it's going to equate to the speed on the screen, okay? The one thing I don't want to have happen is we come off the back of it and we just go, man, and we let the speed go of the flywheel go 4, 8, 12, 16, bang. And now we're back to where we were on the way up. If you can maintain it for a little bit longer, and you can use that, because what's happened is on the way up, we've got that explosiveness or that drive speed going, right? And then on the way back down, we should still have that, but we've got just that tiny fraction more patience coming forward, and then it just slowly levels itself back down, and then we do it again, and it slowly levels itself back down, right? Whereas on the way up, within 2 or 3, 4 strokes, you can have that up change, right? We can get that step, bang. We can do it again, bang. Okay, so we're going bang, bang, bang. But then on the way down, it should look like a curve. Okay, this one on the way up, yes, it is a curve, but it's quite steep. Okay, it just goes boof, boof. Whereas on the way down, it should be the slow curve to there, right? Slow curve to there, slow curve to there. that's how to describe the coming down on the pyramid. Okay, so I hope that helps. Cool workout. I'm trying to be as smooth as a wheel, Alan. Yeah, and hence, guys, like everyone in the chat, guys and girls, the more that you start to think about this stroke being a continuous motion, like a running motion, like a cycling motion, like a swimming motion, it's all a motion. Motion. Okay, we don't want it to be a stop, start, stop, start. Okay, well, it's basically like a stop, 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 stop. Okay, we don't want that. Yes, there's a point. We can't have a wheel. We've got a wheel motion here. Okay, but we don't have a wheel motion here. This is the wheel motion. We don't have like a. Whereas in this, we've got a woof, woof. And those areas are where those motions around the finish, right? This inertia, okay? Think about what inertia is, okay? It's going around that turn. Inertia here, okay? Even around the front, there's inertia but it's compressive. And I don't know what the physical, I'm not a physics teacher here, but it is that compressive strength, but there's still that energy that wants to do this, okay? And that's what we need to use. Our own body's elasticity, our own body's movements to be able to do this. And hence, the breathing thing comes off the side of that. It was only because I watched a fucking video on it last night. And someone's like, and they're telling, breathe like this, breathe like this. I'm like, come on, man. I know people are trying to find it for themselves and they want a little bit of guidance. But at the end of the day, you just got to be thinking, okay, have I got enough oxygen? Is it this? And it changes. The problem is it changes from rating to rating to rating to what you're doing. Power strokes at 20 rating. You're going to be breathing way more than you did if you were just doing this here. So it's all about intensities and everything else. So the only thing I can explain is that if I engage my core now, okay, I find it difficult to breathe. Okay. But if I'm using that hang of the core, it's still going to be engaged, okay? But it doesn't have to be this, I'm doing a crunch engagement. It has to be an engagement of the body's motion through, right? This whip that we're trying to create with the drive forces. And this is just holding on. It's that intermediary between it, okay? And your back's holding it as well. So there's this whole motion of your body that's going through. So if you're super engaged in the core, you're probably just a little bit too tense. Maybe just back off it slightly and then see if that helps you breathe. See if you can take, like I can take a breath in on that drive, right? Because I'm not super engaged in the core. I'm engaged, but I'm not that rigid engagement, okay? Which I hope you understand. Okay, right. Sorry, team, for the blabble. We're off for 2 weeks, okay? I'm going to the UK. Even though I'm pretty sure the UK summer is probably about as wet as the winter we've got here in New Zealand right now. Whoops, sorry to the British people out there. Yeah, I'm going over for a family wedding, leave on Wednesday. I will see, I just don't know if I've got time to put a video up, but I will take my iPad and my stuff, and if I can do a setup somewhere over there, but I don't have anything organised, so I might just, yeah, I'll see what I can do, communicate it through the team, whatever else. Otherwise, we're back here in the first couple of weeks in July, okay? But it'll be good to just chill out, have some time away, because life's been pretty wild lately. It's the middle of the year, okay? Thanks, team. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys in a few weeks' time. Keep up the good work. Just keep working on yourself, your rhythm, the smoothness, elasticity. Think about it. Go back and watch some. There's so much here that you can redo. Okay, so much, and everything's going to give you little tidbits that you can pull from here. Okay, actually, that was better. I like that explanation. Maybe I'll ask you to do it again. Whatever. Use it to your ability. Use it to get better for yourself, because at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. Okay? Perfect. Enjoy my time. We'll do. Safe travels. Okay, we will see you guys here in a few weeks' time. Okay, stay safe. Peace out.